small scandal bi atati piepie we NDC mu sika yesi nkrofo bi akofa any ade nti sa small scandals no say 2 NDC year 2 NDC year 3 so almost scandal no cost and also can become an advantage to MPP. It can become an advantage to MPP. You see, it all boils down to how MPP will do their homework. Show the people that we are here to work. We are here to work for you. Not a solution-oriented people. Because half a goodwill, the MPP are losing in 2024. They've lost it. And they lost quite a chunk of goodwill. What I say? They lost quite a chunk of goodwill. Until they have a lot of homework to do. Man, yes, our homework in the any a bigger problem because then I make us say NATO she crash at Boba or me Baomianim the manwa. The best thing is on Wabeko start apart with NATO Shicho. Because diabolic agenda na NATO Chidibano. Only Baomia can lose the seat. Ken, it works to the advantage of Ken. And already, once Ken will you to Nedada. And second to be comported and once it so far, what comported and one all con then chances are that Ken can cause he will be shaking tables. He will be shaking tables. Indeed, the ball is in the court of the political parties. At the end of the day, the one thing is very important, which is that party for it doesn't matter who is in charge. Obi anxious obey Juma mo mine home faso. Youth know importantly. Youth the most important because job creation. A new man move create a man so me call money. And only the most important thing, because we are not solving any problems for the youth. Politics is not so change or solution-oriented policies here. A bit me abua more mano acronym. So ubet me join here with the link and also share views on the removal of Jemensa, Uncle Anase on state, OSP, Uncle Anase on your and how many people know Yansakiomo. How far is how far? Because they say Obia sorry the petition go, Obia the petition go. And they say anyone here, it just a petition back maybe you Obia. How far should we go? Because the government should focus. I'll say to me that Jema bind all the year here, which makano 24-hour economy. Big push. And then Niama a bit mania effect and net and beyond. Because the president mama to me 24-hour economy big push now. And then this if one quite a benya of us all. If I was running Ghana for and even into the future. 20 years to come, people will be talking about the president mama and the shapey economy in my home faso. It is very, 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 very important. It's very, very important that we focus on the necessary. And sana, yakoya all those unnecessary things na yede and that is why Nana Agyapong to asem no kind na me my disappointed in her say masa. Mama yen hwe say be protecting him maybe. Yem busy say be pam James Akwa must be based on issues. Wama contract. Wa nya na adwuma yie, wa bu mra so. If Bibi say yes, you can kickstart the process. But just because you a diabolical system there, I don't think it is good. And we must not encourage some food soldiers commentary because Nana Agyapong to nipa kese onya akola na onye mame ketwa or you'll be a very knowledgeable, very astute on governance systems and structures near there. So what I say, any see a so near ma as a commentary food soldiers na yes our commentary na any level no. In the yem base no say o boom raso, Jemensa boom raso, Jemensa ye bone, was side step constitution no, was side step electoral commission rules no. By all means, if that is the case, there now I there was a but any side no. We should not make it look like an AMP we ask him to your man and they say it's debi. We should focus on major Nema or Honma as I say it to me a count. This is Jasu. A do or comment be an let me read some of the comments on the banana PSA if you can't party NPP has lost a year. Say, NPP has lost the goodwill of Ghanaians. A clean sheet from the old guards of Akufo-Addo. Any Baumia will help the NPP to claw back a bit of the goodwill now. Omaluzun. Yes, I see IDM. Enya de Bekboa Ewo Kwambia. So Nanapia so a comment or day eba and no. Dauda say if it doesn't matter. No matter Udobia yet. Say or say a pamoma, yem pamomo, they must go. They must go. And one idea was almost Onipa na ye boni a me entina ho say nipa no entina ho na system and structures be but they must go and they must go. Stephen Tufo and say President Mahama is gradually sending NDC to opposition because of the way he's pampering the fake Igbo chief and the Nigerians in Ghana. Really? well, I think on any meeting back up, I don't see so or shada say or pampano biasa what I say, and you know, 70 was no matter what, Ken will obtain the majority of the votes, on the primaries day, and then he will win power. Into no. Samsung or say if ya never again, no. Never again. Okay, minim mop, no, I will come once. Minim some people now, person or some people there. Never again, some more assign ababi mo no so ne comment no nana pa maka wo de J Dazzle see if you good evening. I kindly request your clarification on the lithium agreement. For recent public discourse, it appears the NDC suggesting in effect say 5% holds greater value than 10%. Okay, I'll go back and check and give you the update on that, because I think the agreement that was signed in the past in Ghana and withholding the union in Abekan 19%. So I'll go back and check again, say if a new agreement has been done. Jemima say you seem to know. Oh well, Jemima, my year Jemima over 20 years into kakra de minim I can never know everything, but at least kakra de I will know it. Richard Martin 2028 is for MPP. Nothing can stop MPP for okay. Suppress John they say Mahama minim what you mean by John they say Mahamati. Explain what you mean by that. Now we can also enjoy be a context no okay. Yele or say there's no running mate issue or say no running mate for Greater Accra people no no vote for Greater Accra okay or patches say I'm for running mate now more Greater Accra region for so omonto because almost deserve running mate be no need the position of Yemame Nato she that is why across the capital Ken company said there must be more. Greater Accra region deserves more, not just mokwa asiem propo no. Namo de abroad, Namo said they should be satisfied in doing that. Yeah, let's see, this is all part of internal politics. I know I can't be na ekum MPP for the internal politics. So too much. I know can't be nti ama omuni ama bia motare na ase awai ebisa. Ohene ba kokwe no si no Ken no vote, no Ken no vote. No so no Ken no vote. Ono so ne de no. Abrante also, who told you say Baumia will win the primaries? Well, I don't think Obia can say Baumia will win the primaries. They say, oh yeah, underdog. Because Obia is going after his vote. Benjamin say, if you are due to the change in government, some of us are home with kids. And so, due to the change in government, just MPP for the family Pamuana. Let me understand it properly. Why? I wouldn't say if you are good education and now they are about separation of powers, very solid now. Odiama and yeah, that's the person who is education. Sami say if you stop the political talk, why now you can post a video of yourself saying something about the removal of Charlotte. Say, well, it's not my job to post a video of that. You can also go and watch it because that time I'm multimedia. I did extensive interviews on that, so you can also go and look for it. Be mami homework is out. I'm 77 kwasi homework no. Who to fear we go back. Account now boss say if you can post the video. Low IQ ne John. Me go for me come kwasi. Oh be mami bukra won si asem sa akwa. Le mo be se sia. Oh. Ya mo ka say yes intesu kokko bi wo bi enu mo ni eja ni atifita. Ye ni betimi abetena be ye nkofo ni bi we ya ne very careful. John so be mami movement me go ye Shani John. Wa koye me na me wo multimedia go online and check those videos. Say na me njade me ye na me ko hwe videos bro. Like who are you? Hey already. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh. And go mo gwara we wo maso di o. Already. Martin say if ya Equatorial Guinea coup na Guinea Bissau coup na esi no ye bompa ese binti anti don't be a doom say what ha Dauda say if you ampa asama na oka no youth we have a long way to go, Kwakwa Apia could be say if ya some of na you omu free office ni nyina no once they align themselves with the political party no and nyina they lost their sense of your objectives though. And I will say you I will say you no nyina free honum because at the end of the day it just say agency no so ne dia odi aba eno no ebi mo so fire Nana Ajanto I say no Nana Ajanto anka say yes if you call for the removal I say Jimensa any toko no diabolical twins like what do you mean by sadie no also ye careful ne asemo ka obi so ne dia ode aba eno no da oda maka o message na wasan dia aba okay Daniel Mensa was sending back to be bampacho I know shinti na me fan to screen so no cause but they be objective na kan wajen why don't say that somebody or they just be objective na kan wade PP extra no so well done vim yeah that's bebre J that's also if you calm down that's only be an kwankwa no mba no mbedi di atem chare ade obi a ye you ha ntino Eric who say if you are tria Ken who say Ken bet the bet me win apu oh to me win hwe Ken enya de bet na ho ama no win losing na no be losing Joe Germany Joe say if you I'm watching live from Hamburg greetings Vim and come on one nkofo amutie enyina Dennis is saying Ghana is in the hands of a right leader Mahama eni nipa esefata no so di ade nti yemo ano na adwuma na oye no onye no mfa so de papa emre Ghana ejesa akode emre say never again for Baumia because he can't say what he did for us for her so he said we should just give him a second choice na sana yedema obi I'm say second chance na person kan so sana yedema obi ana I think that's also one of the issues and after she use against Baumia say yeah do buy say be fix the economy no when to me and fix the economy now I feel now okay can boss when I'm all the blame I think one of the things if na to she bono krama or you decide is finally or cross the carpet ako Kennedy Agyapong come near Gideon Boako okay say me bo video ha Emma Gideon Boako can say na to she can because this assembly common fan they do baby no omo first can and district nti na ho kira ba district last minute oboni ba omo say ho kira ba district nti omo first can no enko district no na chesa say too late ade be chen ami e to aba ansa na to she release say sika na mo de akọ district level ni nyina ka ho na MPP for lose ye no I think say asem no so ka ho e na efu na to she bu no say asa wo ba o mia ye do ba ye say be specific job manage economy na economy ni ye we ntumi anya hute afa na ogina na asesen o si yan kan na nkyerɛw nti mo na makobre na to she kuro na say the why na say she's going all out one hia mo anko patana mo secret obe ode beba no ebe ya asem
ye wa enye wo de no enhwe ma ya fanya den enye wunua yakọ election ana ya lusuo ye nyina na yakọ ya ana ye nyina na ya lusuo afedi ya tretre ya sa Baumia so ebisi Baumia na ma ye lusu ye ebisi Baumia ye say ebisi Baumia ye sa na so ya MPP for ye nim de tie ye lusu election no ye nim de tie ni pabubu fu ya omanya den omankoto aba si aba obi aka fertilizer haye enye sa na obi aye kwa akoto aba na fertilizers egu ho na ya fa fertilizers na ama ade abechi am ya to aba ene ya se de fertilizer aba ye cha ye na sabe fertilizer na ama no Baumia no ya Greek minister enti ade ntena ye beka sa Baumia na ma ye lusu election no
eti we ka one of asema akwa na to shi across the carpet ko kena o fire omo senye district assembly common fan sika na anko district level no emma omo luzu ye na Baumia ka ho yes fix economy no tumi fix ya na che say just omo Baumia yam style bia Baumia must be steady because one here ya all these things will go against him in terms of a primaries no but still like I'm saying because Baumia is the person who was the as a past presidential candidate and so that gives him some kind of advantage bikakra and he can no I think one of the things that has worked for Ken is a consistently no Ken agenda is beyond just the delegate level Baumia is at the delegate level but Baumia so hammer on say digitization maybe I made things differently now I'm my own man and but Ken there from that no so after man about me preaching digitization now Ken has been consistent say media jobs factories that kind of messaging it looks at the solution of Ghana beyond just the delegate level the whole the Ken has been consistent the thing that is working against Ken in the past since Bonnie wedding in the past at MDD no they're working against him and then Obia or supporting Ken Craig himself that thing is working against them. But how come you only pay to Mrs. Yeah, the fact that you pay to Mrs. and just say and Crawford on better amount will accept you say what's son. And also you can do homework also oh yeah. And whatever it is, no, Ken must do his work, Baumia must do his work, or Mama Kenya must do their work because 2028 in Omo winnie o ma winnie primaries now 2028 by heading. This is 2028 the NDC will upper hand. It's very unlikely say a year first say MPP bet me win. They just say NDC scandal be back. That's a scandal is so terrible say be more look good because now NDC will good hope. I think NDC here bonnet class will be a NDC good one no mu kuta their approval ratings is still high. See that make us as a president mama to me deliver 24-hour one the best added to the approval ratings. So until I was MPP before must watch out. That is why some talk on more parliament. They must stop and focus. They must stop and focus on near me war money. Now I'm starting my ideas to the youth. Because they are the largest number of voters for Ghana. And they are the ones who can shift elections anyhow. Say MPP bet me a creative shock in 2028 is because the youth will now come and believe them. But if they don't believe them, any a budget gone. Mami first a prince because a prince will comment or person will make it, then I'll come to the rest of you. Most more views some person mode ebasono. Sir Prince, good evening, Akwaba. Prince, good evening.
Good evening.
My you. So yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Nyakopalo. Me say wa mama kunya ama bajumedi so. Asa me buy ache no my tight kakra. Yeah. That was a nice submission from you. Me submission no. The man Natoshi NPP any EC problems are also. I mean one thing maybe when they say the Udiga kind political world to develop something, Sebi, some of the politicians doesn't have it because Ubiaba, there's a certain agenda or person projecting. There's an achievement and the person will achieve for his party and answer for the party. Until
Hello, Prince. Prince, so bet me your internet ni ya my it just ni say be am so tall baby I want sometimes it's so tall how to me affecting network and we in a freeze cry. Yeah, Prince, we in a freeze. So bet me I any bio so that I can take you back. Na me kind messages about you fix your system. Swab or see the doom of Ghana no any crofo mo ka se ku besi nsi ku besi MPP for no mbacho menke kasa MPP for no ku si aso mo so how mo man ni bi e ka so man no mo na mo ti eche na ya mo ke kasa no we ya ko MPP for party bo mo NDC for na say Gabi ye party NDC for kukudam na mini abema na kwabna bobi ansa no dem say NDC for na call party Gabi party o NDC wo so aye fu so yo mo mfrew enso kon hancho na be di atem sa mo di atem kwa ko NDC for so party na no chief of staff in fact chief of staff mami aye MPP for nko mo hijack aye no kra nti ya mo kasana mo when you feel the urge to insult people slow down and save your breath. Well, you can save it for other things. What you say? Omo party for no, omo your classmate ni nuanom. Na say wan po Abu Jinapo ni nua John Jinapo omo ko omo nana baako a program. Na omo mienu omo jina ho na omo enjoy say Abu Jinapo ni John Jinapo jeje. We MPP, we NDC. No omo enjoy na say full soldier. Wa betina e di attempt akohwe chile omo chile wo party na say we ni ne yire na omo chile. Because omu nyina at the end of the day omu your family omu nim say MPP bana abunya ebafie NDC bana John Jinapo nya ebafie na that na on fire atem didie be didie attempt to like knock out to 10 the obenya 200 Ghana cedis but nothing for you we dey man yesterday we dey nsia nyansa every day bia we learn oh Prince Bacho your point now making sorry we network na etwetwesi.
Okay, yeah, Steph, you made that say. So on the issue of NPP now, I strongly believe, say, after this election, NPP will still come back together. And I know, say, what NPP need right now, they say NPP need a new face, new ideology, new people just to lead the party. That is it. Because in the previous administration, you know, you who send yama ankuyi, no kwasime wum say you who send yama anyade, ankoi a Dr. Bawumia kra in one of his campaign wabajia tuma wapache ewo ho. But the problem here is say I was here a new face. You hear new face now, you hear new ideology. Say they be on me a pushy party agenda. That is it. Now Toshi issue now about say or expose Bawumia. I don't think say or expose no. Na or expose or no one as or expose party no. Omuna Bawumia ko for no ni pushing na Toshi amana expose Bawumia because Omudi blame ni yeden Emma woman. And according to woman, was say only Bawumia na yejuma. I'm the administrator over there, and I don't do things on my own. Sikane ba ena medeba. I'm farmer. Men farmer. Intermediate me wo say meji sikano na mediaba. But here is the case is say nipa na oda no a ono no me report man no. Ono so na yede e praba ni bi. So it is almost me man you medwuma yi ne sika ne bedi mi ho na manfa sika na ama ene me mama te ne se sika no na wo mo boss o mo boss na ede sika na no ono na wo so ko de mame e mame de ba ene manfa ne de ama it I think about omiafo na nkasa na expose omo na expose am ye how incompetent and I don't know if I can use this word irrelevant Bawumia was during that time because as a whole sitting president, Nessa and be Koso, and you were not aware, even as a whole sitting president, a vice president, now you don't even have control over the finance minister. You can't even talk to finance minister. Then it means there was a problem. According to Natoshi in one of his interviews, or say, one vice president Kasai, vice president say one finance minister Kasa. And share conversation said the next finance minister no kana on for vice president enye. So Bawumia, what does it mean? What does it take an answer? What does it mean? Say the neighbor yet president in power. Even those under him or more than a buyer or kaso mubiti. Ubien honuma ubiti. So Bawumia leadership there is a major problem. That is why Ghanaians voted against NPP, BNT. That is the leadership of Bawumia. There's a major problem over there. And coming back to Canada, Japan, Osha Ken message or the nama, it's clear. And I mean, it goes beyond NPP. It goes beyond what I would do for NPP and the delegates themselves. Can speak for Ghanaians. And they are honorable Ken Ako Western region, Ako donation at the Ama. I mean, one of the hospitals and campaign the internal campaign in Kefahombe. But Kennedy has demonstrated a kind of leader. He's a leader for all. He's a leader for everybody. And Kennedy has assured. And I mean, in Ken conversation, he says, or say, my line up investors who are ready to invest in the country as I'm talking to you. When can give a promise, we believe second obey because why be that ugusuye. And we know say second Emma promise yeah youth na say mebuno in himself honorable Ken ebetimi aye. I have a strong belief that honorable Kennedy Japan, he is the right man to lead the party. And the moment honorable Ken Bebano, everything will be okay. Unfortunately, last 2 days in Western region, Honorable Ken Eko Takwa. And you can see the revelation, the way Honorable Ken speaks, the intimidation that was going on within the party. Even was a party no lose seat Ewo Takwa as an MP. Yes, still delegate a more NPP phone. Mobekwa abonten. Akwa ne I mean electorate bekwa akọ kasa mo ma beto abama party no. MP no lose no. He still threatening them. What kind of party is this?
Our evidence that just MP not threatening delegates for no.
Yeah, sister, yeah, it is all over. I mean, you who said MP former MP no. Some of the delegates just to speak say they are in support of this. I mean, there's a conversation back door. Another delegate is also gather.
I
Yeah,
don't think so. No, they
yeah,
just
but
said they
I
are.
understand. But as an MP for the constituency, as a father for the constituency, what me kwashe biachi etimi ye bibi say. What you say?
So,
So but
interest.
that's the problem. Yenyan were NPP. The leadership themselves omeji omanima ya dia ese party no. Because you were net your father, nese you were nim ya de. Na me amen so me wase ne. Mo bibi kakra o me ho a. Se me so me cause confusion or party ni mo. And that is what is happening in NDC. Until me de manu see ama Nana Kofi Abano. Me I feel say NPP need a new face, and new face in the honorable Kennedy Japan. Me that's
okay. Very well, Mammy. That's a bad plan. And I'm Pacho. Yeah, good evening, Kwaba.
Good evening, Steve. Yeah, and I mean, sure. Good evening to all your viewers, and then your way both across the world, and then also in Ghana. Now I just wanted to say, now I'm not you all can't about your friends and Nana ya Jantua Asemna Okain. I mean, Nana ya
the removal of EC chair, no
exactly. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she may have misspoken because with her status now, I think yes, it is better for her not to be saying those sort of things. What she has said, I know is inevitable. So at least some party full soldier been a kind, yeah, and at least yeah, but because Nanaya is quite respected both in CPP as well as in NDC now, she shouldn't have obviously used those sort of diabolic twins. I mean, it's quite harsh. But you see, the thing is, the precedent has been set by these two political parties. And the reason why Justice Tokonu went was because the main target was Jane Mensah. Oh, and it's something that is it. You see, NDC are going by this systematically hiding behind the law. Unlike the way Nana Akufo-Addo's time, it was more like vengeful in a way, and then yeah, they did things with. But you see, the thing is, MPP shouldn't complain because I buy a debo teaching, and no one a debo bad. Yes, and it is quite unfortunate. I mean, our infantile democracy, these things are started to crop in after over 30 years, which is quite unfortunate. But the thing is, the president has been said, and then you see, apart from saying the president has been said, and the NDC will go ahead and do it. Honestly, the EC chair did not cover herself in glory with all the 2 elections that she has run. I mean, it has shown a lot of inaccuracies whereby, like I think 2020, she was changing the figures almost like every 24, 48 hours. She brought new system of these regional collation centers that created a lot of way. And that even, I remember 2020, where even in, I think, part of this Sunyani or somewhere in Bronhafu, some youth were shot. And they were shot also with Techimai, yes. Oh, and it was all about that regional collation centers where people had to gather, even though they are not supposed to gather. But these are the things that you create. So, I only need 2 deputies in there. Me personally, I think they have to honorable resign and give it to somebody else because she has not covered herself in glory at all. The last election, obviously, the early concession of a friend saying Baumia covered a lot of her inadequacies because the same regional coalition thing became an issue where people ransacked the regional coalition centers, and like we said, obviously she has been quite incompetent. I mean, knowing the type of woman that she is, I was very surprised that she could not handle the EC position, and also her 2 or 3 deputies that they themselves. And then you look at the issue of even SAL, for instance. It is an indictment on her record forever and ever. How can, like, citizens of Ghana in a particular constituency did not have the opportunity to vote?
They don't have a representative in parliament
at all. And then you see in Ghana that we go scot-free. Like, he should have been sued. Honestly, he should have been sued by the South area. He should have been sued and for her to account for it. Even if it's a emotional stress whatsoever, she should have been sued. And it's an indictment on her record forever and ever. And then the issue about the MPP internal politics, like today, for instance, even at work, I was listening to Atachia talking about, say, Kenny Agyapong, like, I mean, inside, he didn't mention him, but everybody knew who he was jabbing. Say, I mean, I didn't expect him to say that. As an Adisco boy, a mate of Kenny Agyapong, for him to go so low to be saying that, and in UN, when he started in UN, then the president will be saying, motherfucker, motherfucker. I mean, as a distinguished lawyer, a former minister of state, a former MP, and because of internal politics. But you see, if it happens that Kenny Agyapong wins, will he be able to come back to the MPP to come and support him? I mean, we know that internal politics, yes, it comes with its own banter. Anyway,
they are setting many cracks, more, even more.
Exactly.
Already they have cracks and they are setting more cracks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are huge cracks. And with the look of things, should Bawumia win, I think there might be a break away from this party. And you see, but at the end of the day, it's the common Ghanaian that suffers. People don't see it that way. It's the common Ghanaian that suffers because then our multi-party political system, it weakens. We need a stronger opposition to be able to challenge the NDC. Look, NDC has got a goodwill now. I mean, they've got a goodwill for the next 3 years. And then the way and manner in which Mama is going by things, gradually setting up the tempo to be able to, like this big push, and then this Nkokon Kete issue. Because me as a child, growing up in Tema and Kumasi, poultry farm was one thing. Afari, if you know, like you're a Tema lady, Afariwa farms.
Yeah, Afariwa. Oh yeah, Afariwa farms. Yeah,
exactly. And he
has stopped. The place has become it's a real estate now.
I know. They sold the land because the thing is, government policies.
And I remember when I was a child, we used to go there around Christmas. That's why everybody goes to buy.
Yeah, we get fresh eggs, fresh chicken.
Yes,
not this burger chicken. You understand?
And
but it's
unfortunate. Have turned into such a big chicken hub.
Yeah,
even
and look at
the West Africa countries, but we didn't support him.
Exactly, they didn't. Look at Daku farms. Look at Pomazi. All these things.
There's even another one in Brekum. I think it's called Unity Farms. It's one of the biggest poultry farms now. They export even to Cote d'Ivoire, but that's why I personally support them.
I personally support because, like I was telling, as a child, I mean, growing up in Kumasi and Accra, in Kumasi, my stepmom and my dad, they had a poultry farm that I was feeding them. I feed them in the morning, and then we're supplying, even as a small scale, whatever, we were supplying Asia Hotel, eggs and fresh, and we were supplying, and then the way manner they are going about it, and people sort of start to castigate and whatever. Look, at the end of the day, that poultry industry, the indirect jobs alone can create more than 1 to 2 million jobs. That indirect alone, that can create more than 1 to 2 million. And if NDC are able to implement and make sure that they support and give like subventions to farmers and support them with subsidies, I'm telling you, their goodwill will extend beyond 2028. And I see, and it's something that Ghanaians we should support, not because it's NDC MPP, but we should support because it helps us. I have this
is a particular project that the benefit is to the ordinary Ghanaians.
Ghanaians.
The usual one that the politicians are the ones who benefit, like this SML contract.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it's the politicians and their business cronies. They are the ones.
Cronies that they are,
but like this one, like the free maternal health care President Kufuor did, free SHS. These are things that everyday Ghanaians we are the beneficiaries. And it's surprising that these are the things that we also fight against. We, the people, we fight against some of these things that is intended to benefit us.
That is the thing. And it's so sad because if you look at, I mean, I was growing up in a champion's time. A champion's time with Operation Feed Yourself. We were, as a country, were able to feed ourselves without relying on importation of chicken. Look, chicken importation alone a year, it costs over $300 million dollars. Why? And then you see all these things. Rather, we are supporting the farmers here. I live in Kent. It's a farming area. You can call it the garden city of England, just like Kumasi.
Okay.
Oh, that's all the farmers live. Most of the farmers.
Okay.
So we are
and
rather
the UK government support the farmers, right?
Exactly. They give them subsidies. For them, their fuel, the diesel is totally different. It's totally different. They give them all that. You see, because they create jobs. If the European, they used to have all these European
I think that's why Monday we had a discussion on this issue, and somebody suggested that this is why the Nkukwan Kitenkete should be given to the private sector. I think that was the person suggesting that instead of government handling it, because usually when government handles it, it will become like NAPCO. You see, government tried to do NAPCO and it collapsed. They will chop the money. So give it to private sectors like Kwabna that could bring back a Feriwa farms. You can go and bring the people, set them up and start, accelerate them. And they will be able to multiply their jobs in the next 2-3 years. But the moment you make it political, the way they've done it, and that's why the MPP guys, as good intended as the project, they are just laughing and castigating it.
Yeah, but today, this morning I was listening to Nana Jantwa. There was this businessman. I mean, he's an MPP financier. He's bought it and he praised it. And then he's taking it by, like he said, yes. It should, for me personally, I think it should be government plus private partnership initiative, where government maybe provides these subsidies, these feeds, whatsoever, but then the private sector just handle it, because then they create more jobs, indirect jobs. Because you see, the common Ghanaian on the street wants to be fed, wants to have a proper place to sleep. He doesn't care about whatever luxury or whatever is there. He wants to be fed. That at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at least what I can buy, not every money in my pocket should buy my food, but I should be able to enjoy my food, look after my family, take them to school. At least I'll be able to go to the hospital, not over something. They don't look at my watch before they prescribe the medication. And then at least I can have my subsidized electricity and water. So yeah, these are the things. But when you politicize things, it doesn't get to the masses. I believe that this Nkukwan Kitenkete initiative is fantastic. I mean, the government should at least put it in, but then you should involve more of the private sector. Just give them the subsidies to support them. Then if it needs, maybe you are giving them the broilers or the chicken or especially the feed. Yes, give them that, or whether soft loans. Then they should take it forward. And then we should all embrace it. Because I remember, growing as a child, Operation Feed Yourself. Even a feature we were able to grow corn. We were able to grow anything. And at the end of the day, it benefited us as a country. Wow. Because, even like, for instance, in UK, chicken from the US is banned. We don't use them in Europe. Because, but you see, some people will go and then import it from the US because they use chlorine to wash it. So, EU law is against that. So they do not accept chicken from the US. Every EU country, as well as the United Kingdom, they don't.
Yeah, I know the EU countries are
very particular with health. Yeah. Because in America, anything goes. Anything goes. And then we too, Ghanaians, will go and bring it. And then we feed.
Like you said, we spent a lot of money on this importation. We've not even come to rice. We even import water. Now we import $11 million worth of water, mineral water to Ghana. We import garlic. We import tomatoes. We import
even toothpick. Toothpick we do import.
What even made me sick? I think Monday we were here. One of our resource persons is a consultant, so he works with the Canadian government, and was telling us right now globally, China is the #1 exporter of vegetables. Something we should be. China is the #1 exporter of vegetables.
Exactly.
Followed by Holland, Netherlands, and then Canada, and then Spain. And I think there's one last country, Mexico.
Yeah, there will be.
The top 5 countries that export vegetables. They are all Western countries. An African country is not even in the top 5.
No. African country is not part of it. But just that, yes. But it's so sad. And these are the things that create jobs for their people. That can be done. We have the lands. What are we using the lands for?
That's the question.
That's the we have the lands. What are we using the land for?
And let me thank you, Nana, because I think that even the youth are not concerned about this. These things don't bother them. For some reason, they've also been so blinded that they are more interested in the politicking, the everyday politicking. They are more interested in that than some of these solution-oriented discussions.
That's right. Yeah. And maybe my last talk on especially the Baumia and the Ken or whatever that they are their debate or I personally believe that Ken or any of the other three, apart from Baumia, should be able to take MPP forward because MPP has lost goodwill. So you cannot sort of recycle the same goods and bring in, because the people know that Baumia on his campaign trail, everything he said was a lie. So he's a damaged goods. So for the delegates, they should choose. But they see that unfortunately he's the front runner anyway. He's a front runner. But if anything at all, they should rather think about Ghana as a whole and then choose either between Ken or Dr. Educhu, because they will bring some different impetus. Because you see, on the streets of Ghana, Ken is popular. I don't know why. He is popular.
He's a youth, he's a young man.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, he attracts the independent votes. And Ghana is the independent votes and the youth. That will make you the king. So then that is why the delegates need to think about that, not just their pockets, what they are receiving, but they should think about it as a whole. Because my fear is, if Ken or if Baumia wins, MPP might split. We are looking at 1979 scenario.
Wow.
The MPP, might split. And it will be very, very difficult and sad on the part of our democracy that the main majority party has split. Because then you give NDC, it's like a one-party state. Yeah, one-party state.
Oh. It will be interesting to see what will happen in December and all the way to January.
Yeah, so, that is why I'm coming to Ghana. Honestly.
You want to experience the showdown.
I want to experience the showdown.
Thank you, Nana Gobi.
Thank you very much.
So the showdown, I can't do this primaries where they made, and I think this will be showdown times 2, because this one, the way I can didn't want Jim year, and he's done diligent campaign the wire. And even Baumia campaign across because of the nature of the campaign Ken has also run, and I think that all being equal is good. But I think the Nana Kofi can is very important. It's about we near one here Ken be free party. So Ken free party or tea party there. Hey, but it will be interesting to see what that will mean, because it will be interesting to see whether or not you to know Ken what never coordinate or not. And it will be interesting to see how MPP will survive, because I know like a very serious issue about MPP. Because even as a political party, they see no komu shake dada. It mo koto about for executives no man leadership papa. Omu betimi hold the party no. Na se Ken ko lose no free mo no party for fraud. That'll be serious. We live to see. But mama na mase ene ye wo issues being the basic anum say na ya to aso yankopon ya my full show next week Monday. Na mo nyina mase has been just media. Say my catch say ya ma me na ya jam to do no akra hu say de o kan no de wa twa san kakra say ho no labeling wa unuano ma as diabolical twins is not the best of languages. She could have made her point grounded in law, say we omobumra we so therefore you suppose you omo. But just to label them, say omo diabolical twins, no one him said no hodi atra nanka o say o slow down kakra. Ti ma me na mo nyama sim. Some journey we just media nyakopon ya adom e be share bim next week Monday. So thank you so much for joining us in your May. Good night. If I'm even lady if ever quiet. Atida so and comma team ni nyina ye nuan radio High Life Radio, ni Kings Jersey Radio, Bigatu FM, Adam Papa Media, and Naspa Radio. Thank you so much for picking up. But production team, the Mr. Johansson, ni DOP, the Bedia, and San, any DJ All Black, and so we salute. Thank you. Why? Good night.